Hello guys and gals, hope everyone's having a good day today. My name is Dan Reed. We've got a small sow operation here, about 30 head of mama pigs for swine production, mainly focused on the show pig side of things. Some of you guys may have heard of 4-H or FFA, where they show those pigs at a livestock show or something like that. That's what we focus on, but we're going to take you on a tour. We're going to look at some big pigs, we're going to look at some baby pigs, some pigs that are in between in size. We're just going to do some fun facts today about pigs, about swine production, and how important pigs are in our everyday life. Y'all come on in and we'll start this tour. In here is our sow barn, where we keep all our big sows, our mama pigs. Our sow is the name or the term for a mature female hog that's had a litter of babies. The mature male hog is called a boar, and the young babies are called piglets. The young females are called gilts. They're gilts up until the time they become a mama, and once they have babies, they're termed as sows as well. So we're going to hop in over here and just talk to you a little bit about what we do on a day-to-day basis throughout the year. And you see these big sows, they probably weigh about 400 pounds. These are some of the younger ones that we have in this pen here. We kind of keep them together by size, by age. Our main priority is keeping these females healthy, keeping them safe, keeping them comfortable. In the winter time, it's April, the first week of April here, but in the winter time, when it's cold outside, we fill this barn full of straw. They can get in and stay comfortable, they stay warm. In the summertime, here in another few months, when it's going to be very hot outside, we have misters for these pigs to keep them cool in the summertime. This concrete stays nice and cool. They'll all be lined up on this concrete here. We keep them cool for one reason, because pigs do not have the ability to sweat. They don't have sweat glands. So when we're outside in the heat, running around playing, and we start sweating, that's our body's natural way of cooling itself off. Well, these poor pigs, these big 400-pound pigs, some of them are even bigger than that, don't have a natural way to cool themselves off. So us as farmers, us as caretakers of these animals, we have to do our best to keep these guys comfortable. So in the summertime, they're nice and cool. This whole barn has got a mister system running through it. It's just a nice cool breeze, nice cool water flowing down on them during the summertime. Swine production is very, very important to each and every one of us across the world. In fact, the number one consumed meat worldwide is pork, and that's the meat that comes from a pig. Now, my favorite part of that pig is bacon, but we get bacon, we have ham that you eat on your sandwiches that come from pigs, all kinds of good stuff. There's ribs, a lot of stuff that we barbecue during maybe the 4th of July or special occasions come from the pig. You have a pulled pork sandwich, for instance, that comes from parts of the pig. So a lot of the stuff that we use from that pig is their meat, the pork from that pig. But they're also very important in the medical field. Some of us may have, or we know someone that has diabetes that may use insulin injections on a daily basis. A lot of that insulin is a byproduct from these pigs. Some of us may know someone that has replacement heart valves. Those replacement heart valves, a lot of the times, may come from one of these pigs. Their heart valves and our heart valves are very similar, so we can cross those up, and some of us may have pig hearts or pig valves in our hearts. So that's one way that these pigs are very important to us. Now, this group of pigs right here are all bred. They've all had at least one litter of pigs in here. So they're sows, and they're bred, and their gestation time, or the length of time it takes for those babies to be ready to come out and be born, is 114 days. That's easy to remember with 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. That's how long they're inside their mom's tummy cooking, being ready to be born. So we keep them out here during that length of time, and when the time gets closer, about a week from when they're supposed to farrow. Farrow is another term we use. Farrow is giving birth. It's these mama pigs giving birth. It's the process of farrowing. About a week before they farrow, we will move them into another barn that we call our farrowing house. Y'all follow me and we'll go to the farrowing house and talk a little more about these pigs. They always like a good scratch right there behind the ear. This is Pearl. We name all our pigs. Okay guys, here we are in our farrowing house. Unfortunately, we just weaned 12 litters of pigs, so we don't have any sows or little babies running around in the farrowing house today. But these right here, these farrowing crates, are vital to each show pig operation or each commercial sow herd operation. We've got 12 crates throughout our farrowing house. They provide fresh, clean water at all times. When we put the sows in here, they are provided free choice feed. They get all the feed they want. In the summertime, we keep it about 65 to 70 degrees in this farrowing house at all times. In the wintertime, we may crank it up to 75 or 80 degrees to keep these sows comfortable. In fact, those sows seem like they know when it's time to come in this farrowing house, to open the gate out in the sow barn, and they make a beeline in here because they know that there's fresh feed waiting for them, and they know if it's 100 degrees outside, it's going to be about 65 degrees in this farrowing house. These crates are very important to baby pig health. They keep our mamas safe and sound. They can only stand up and lay down in here. Once they have those pigs, that's very important because those big 400-pound sows are very prone to laying down, and some of them don't lay down very carefully. So we want to keep those baby pigs safe, and these bars here keep these baby pigs from being laid on, from being stepped on. The sow can't turn around. It keeps everyone safer, keeps everyone healthy. They're in here for a minimal amount of time, and while they're in here, us as hog farmers take very good care of those sows with all the feed they need, all the fresh, clean water, and the temperature is optimal conditions for those sows to be healthy and comfortable. You can see these farrowing crates are elevated off the ground. The floors are made of rubber or plastic, and they're slatted where all the waste falls through to the bottom, and so no one's walking through any kind of waste or any kind of yucky stuff. It's just nice and clean for those babies to be walking around. Now, if you'll follow me to the nursery, we'll look at some baby pigs and talk about our nursery for a while. Hey guys, we're in our nursery now, and sometimes these pigs become real friendly. Sometimes they're like little puppy dogs. Of course, this one wants me to let her down. We're going to talk a little bit about our nursery though. In our nursery, we have a smaller nursery. We've got 6 pens in here with lots and lots of baby pigs in each pen. Again, the floors are slatted, have holes in the floors. Those pigs can walk around and be comfortable, but also the waste falls through. In our nursery, these baby pigs like it very, very warm. Just about as warm as we can get. And here today, we've got it 90 degrees in this nursery. Keeps those pigs warm, keeps them healthier in that heat. Just like in the farrowing crates, they're offered free choice water. You can see our feeders here have, they're full of feed. And these baby pigs here, they're about 5 weeks old. We'll wean them or take them away from their mother when they're 3 weeks old. And we'll keep them on the nursery decks for about 4 or 5 weeks. When they're 3 weeks old, they're ready to stop drinking their mother's milk, and they're ready to start eating a feed that's mainly based on corn and other grains that our farmers grow. Now, our baby pigs, or I guess all pigs, are classified as mammals because 1, they have hair, and 2, they drink their mother's milk. So that's an automatic classification as a mammal there. These babies, this nursery is full of baby pigs. Like I said, we'll keep them in here for 4 to 5 weeks. When they're 9 or 10 weeks old, we'll take them into our other barn and put them on the ground and let them grow a little more from there. But like I said, it's 90 degrees in here. We can keep a good eye on each and every one of them. If one of them's not feeling good, we can tell, and maybe we can give it some medicine to help get it better. But most of the time, out of 100 pigs in this nursery, we may have 1 or 2 that get sick. But as a pig farmer, just like we take care of our sows out in the sow lot when it's hot or cold, we take care of our baby pigs when they don't feel good. Hey, so here we are in some of our grower pens that we have for pigs that are too big to be on the nursery decks, but not big enough for market yet. So we keep them in these pens, and a lot of larger producers will keep a much larger pen and keep many, many more hogs in that pen. But this is some of our growing pigs here. This one's actually going to grow up to be a boar pig one day where he'll reproduce and make more pigs for us. But there's over 68,000 pork producers in America. That ranks us third in the world in pork production, with over 112 million hogs marketed every year. So this hog he was born in early January, and today's April 6th. So we're going to call him 4 months old. Right now he probably weighs close to 100 pounds. Now in the next 2 months he will grow very, very fast. He'll gain over 2 pounds a day. And when he's 6 to 6.5 months old, he's going to weigh 250 to 280 pounds. You can see they're very curious. They're almost like pets sometimes when you take care of them. They're very, very strong. I have to keep standing up because he's biting my leg and it doesn't feel good. But pigs are going to grow very fast. They're going to mature very quickly. A female pig, when she's 6 months old, she'll be ready to have her own litter of pigs. So they're going to grow fast. They mature quickly. Like I said, when they're 6 to 7 months old, they're going to be market ready, 270, 280 pound pigs. Okay, now that we've seen the nursery decks here and these 5-week-old baby pigs, let's go take a look at some that are market ready. So here we are with a market ready hog that's ready to go out and provide us with a vital source of protein, or maybe a life-saving heart valve, or maybe even insulin that some of our diabetic patients use on a daily basis. There's all kinds of products that we don't think about that may come from a pig, besides the meat, besides the skin. We know football was originally called the pigskin because that's where they got the leather from to make our first footballs, was from the pigskin. But we get all kinds of byproducts, stuff that we don't really think about from these hogs, from insulin to heart valves to makeup, young ladies, moms, grandmas. If we ever call you pretty as a pig, we're just being honest here, because a lot of the makeup that we have that we use comes from byproducts of pigs. But anyway, like I said, this one's market ready. Fortunately for her, we're going to put her back in the sow barn, and come the middle of August, here in another 4.5 months, she is going to be ready to have a set of baby pig. She will have her first litter. Now, one big important thing in swine production is identification. We need to be able to tell which pig came from what mama, and which pig is this or which pig is that. And we don't use an ear tag like some productions do, like beef cattle do or dairy cattle do. We don't brand them like cows do. When they're babies, we give them their identification with an ear notch. We mark their ears, and each notch on that pig's ear tells us a certain number. Now, I won't go through all that because you'll get confused, and I'll get confused trying to tell you, but you can see this pig's ear. She's got lots of different notches on it, and that's her identification. Now, she does have an ear tag in, and that was her identification for her show. She was going to be a show pig, and that was her identification for there. But along with that ear tag, that exhibitor had to turn in her ear notches. And we know which pig this is. We know which mama she came from and what part of the year maybe that this hog was born in, just by their simple identification with their ear notches. Hey guys, we appreciate you coming along with our virtual tour of the farm today. My name's Dan Reed. I'm also a field rep with Texas Farm Bureau. One of our important jobs is to talk to you guys about agriculture, where your food and clothes come from. Hope you've had a great day. Holler if we can help out in any way.